Good morning, I'm Rosa Heckman, and I work in the arts and craft room making greeting cards with some other volunteers. And I think there have been cards for sale in there for at least 30 years. And we like to keep it up. And I think it'd be great if we had a few more volunteers. We have a lot of small, easy jobs to do. It's not that hard to learn. And it'd just be great. We have classes or workshops Mondays from 9 to 11. And Eleanor Finn and myself, we're in there probably 7 days a week. So anyway, if you just could spend an hour a week, that would be great. We really would appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements before we get started? Okay, we'll roll into a couple updates. So just wanted to address, we are getting lots of calls and emails. We hear it too. It's driving us just as crazy, but it is the construction back there. It looks like they're building apartments. There's a giant scaffolding crane, and they are definitely making a lot of noise. We have not been able to get a hold of anyone for additional information on the project, but it is not related to Regency, and there's not a lot we can do about it at the moment. So again, if you've heard it, it is pretty disturbing, and we just wanted to kind of get in front of that and address it. Yep, you can see it. Just a reminder from IHS, they've got their puzzles out for October, and they've placed them in your boxes, so please fill it out and return it to their office for your free hours. Just some updates from Evan. He has been focused on elevator tracks, so they've done a total of the 20 in the south, and they're doing 20 more in the north. Funny thing, this is one of my boss's pet peeves. Anytime she goes to a community, she checks the elevator tracks. Evan doesn't know that, but we love that he's addressing that. Attention to detail, right? North and south laundry rooms, he is addressing the lint traps as well. There's been excessive buildup, so they are taking care of those and getting those cleaned out. So he likes to show you good photos of follow the progress. Sales and marketing, I know I mentioned this last week, but we actually have an event today from about 11 to 1. It's called Autumn Bites, and we're doing another one on the 26th from about 11:30 to 1. And that's an additional one where they're going to be using our pizza oven. So again, I always like to bring up this information. I know we have a lot of our ambassadors and marketing committee that comes to this meeting, so just thank you as always. HR update. So Ginger and Dawn actually attended a conference last week. I know we feel like we haven't seen Ginger in a while. She was helping out in transportation. But she was at a conference in Des Moines last week, and so Dawn's got a lot of things she's looking forward to implementing and rolling out for some best practices for our community for recruitment, retention, and culture. So these meetings are always time well spent. We get together with other of our corporate team and usually get a lot of best practices and great things we can roll out to the community. So we're looking forward to sharing some of that with you. Just a little bit of outline for the activities of the week. The Bonefish Grill today at about 11:45. They're doing In the Know with RO here in our offices Wednesday, October 18th from 2:30 to 3:30. Great courses, Winston Churchill. That's Wednesday, October 18th at 3 p.m. here in the town hall. My Life Experience, How Theiss, that's going to be Friday, October 20th, 2 p.m. right here in the town hall. The Romantics for Lovers Past, Present and Future, Friday, October 20th at 7:30 p.m. Reminder, as always, to check your trip tables. We do have an update. We have one COVID case in the north building. We probably do anticipate with the weather dropping and this time of year, we're hoping that doesn't significantly increase, but historically shown there will be probably a potential spike, but we'll continue communicating and working with our resident services director and wellness to make sure we can address that and get through another flu and COVID and cold season. So again, we are going to be doing the COVID and flu clinic. You must fill out the vaccine consent form with your health insurance information prior to the time. The forms are available in the wellness clinic. Please wait patiently in the Grand Lobby South for your appointment time, and a nurse or Kelly will come and escort you for the appointment. If you're not able to make that appointment, there is a walk-in from about 1:30 to 2 on both days, but you do have to have your consent form on file. And Kelly said you'll need to schedule other vaccines for a later date as they cannot be taken shots. So I know that she wanted to make sure she was here in case there was any additional questions about that process, but she will be here managing that. I know you've sent out the forms for the appointment times. Everyone should have an appointment time in your mailbox.
If you signed up.
If you signed up.
If you need it, let me know.
Little bit of updates from Darwin. We did replace 4 new HVAC units in apartments. The north and south elevator inspections were completed. We are working on some roof repairs in the marketing and pub north building. Final inspection of the R wing after the fire, almost, a year and a half ago now. We got the last unit signed off and the last inspection was completed. So we are finally done with the R wing in that respect. But we did clean and organize a lot of the storage areas, and we will be sending out additional communication. The carpet should arrive on Monday, and on Tuesday the 24th is when Blue Team is scheduled to begin on the 5th floor corridor. Darwin said they're starting in the R wing. We are going to be meeting to get out additional communication. It will be a construction zone over there while we are trying to get the carpet installed and the engineered wood pulled up and the LVP put down, which is the vinyl plank. So we'll get more communication out for that, for those that will affect. Again, this is for the north building, 5th floor, starting in the R wing. Again, just another reminder of our annual anniversary dinner scheduled for Wednesday, October 25th. Please make your reservations as to which dining room you'll be attending. Reservations are available from 4:30 to 6. It is a special event with wine, live music, and formal attire. And then we will join together here in the town hall for dessert and cordials. Again, just a reminder of the menu: past cocktail shrimp, wild mushroom soup, carved beef tenderloin with black currant demi-glaze, triple tail with blood orange beurre blanc, grilled asparagus, spaghetti squash, black truffle mashed potatoes, rice pilaf, and raspberry lemon drop dessert. And most importantly, cordials. Just again, another reminder for the dining hours on that day. The gastropub are going to be opened during the normal hours. Breakfast 8 to 10, lunch 11:30 to 2. North and south dining rooms will only be open for that dinner service, and takeout and delivery will be between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Dining service will have reservations available 4:30 to 6. Again, this is for the anniversary dinner. Update, we're still trying to get to the bottom of 732. It works, it doesn't, it works, it doesn't. We got a new box, it doesn't. So we did get the equipment replaced and it should be working. Now, if you are having issues in your apartment, please contact Betsy. We're working with our team. We'll have Darwin or one of the guys come out to see if we can troubleshoot internally. We're trying to figure out if it's a Regency or a Spectrum issue. If you call Spectrum, they're gonna point the finger and say it's Regency. We did get that box completed and completely, it's brand new, so we shouldn't have issues with it. So we are trying to get to the bottom of what those issues are, as we do know some residents are still experiencing that inside your apartment. So we're not sure if it's just your account or if it's something broader. So please just kind of mention to Betsy, and then we can kind of take it from there, have one of our guys come out and see what we can get to the bottom of. But it works for us. It works in my office. It works in the halls. So again, just please reach out, and we talked a little bit about it this morning. We'll send a guy out to see if we can figure it out. That way you don't spend time on the phone with Spectrum just for them to tell you it's Regency, and Regency to say, we don't think so, but we'll look into it. A little bit of follow-up from me, like I've mentioned, again, it's going to be lots of construction and a little bit of a inconvenience, to say the least, when we're putting in the new carpet and the flooring. So just wanted to mention, the carpet will be here Monday, and we will be starting on that 5th floor. We'll be sending out communication. Blue team has markers, signs, just to make sure we can have that information. And then Betsy will help with one calls as well, for those pertinent to those areas. I am still waiting on the budget and CapEx. We have not gotten that back from Health Peak and LCS, so I will present that as soon as we get that information. Again, I mentioned, but I wanted to reiterate, we are working on a bid for a automatic door opener here at this door over here to my left, here in the town hall. And we did order a speaker and volume control to go in that AV room, to help obviously with the plays and all of the items and activities that we will be doing on stage. So we're awaiting the ETA for that, but it has been ordered. So we'll be able to utilize that area back there. We did order more keys to the fire pits. We know it's getting to be that time of year. We'd love to use those out here. So those right now, there is one at the north desk that you can check out. That way we can obviously keep a tab on them and make sure they're turned off. And if you want to use the fire pits, you most certainly can. There's a key at the north desk, and we're ordering additional for both desks. But we do know it's beautiful. You might want to have dinner or a glass of wine by the fire pit, and you most certainly can do that. Just see the front desk at the north building. And like I said, we'll have security checking on those to make sure they're turned off when they're being used. A little information on me. I'll be out Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, back Wednesday for our event. My family's coming to visit me, so I'll be out for a couple days, but I'll be back in time for the anniversary. So no Tuesday talk on the 24th. Unless you want my brother to come present. You don't want that. A little bit of updates from Betsy. Assignment of benefit forms can be completed, so a check can be made out to a specific person or account in lieu of the estate when closing the Regency account. Okay, so resident survey, we received them. The IL response rate was 74%, meaning 74% of our IL residents responded. The overall satisfaction survey left much to be desired at 68%. So we've got some work to do, right? As a community, as a team, there was lots of feedback, so we'll kind of do a high-level overview of that. It's 89 pages. I would bore you going over every portion of that data, but it is a very in-depth survey, and IL score was 68%. AL was 81%, and healthcare was about 88%. So this is the immediate breakdown. Overall satisfaction, 68%. I feel at home, 73%. I feel very satisfied, 67%. I would recommend Regency to friends and family at 65%. Regency Oaks resident comment themes. The two main ones for positive are environment, so loving the community and loving each other. So obviously your fellow residents and counterparts and friends and environment. The next goes to staff, supportive services, activities, location, general, dining, health and wellness, and into management being the last. The satisfaction, starting with the highest to the lowest, is accounting and reception at 91, marketing and sales at 88, security 87, IHS at 83, executive director 82, resident health services 80, environmental services 80, community life services 77, communications 76, transportation 76, and that's about 10% difference in the wrong direction from the last survey. Supportive facilities 69, overall 68, extraordinary impressions 67, food and beverage 63, board of directors 62, plant ops 59, and engagement 58. Improvement comment themes, the two largest areas that had lots of feedback were dining and environment, and then goes into management, miscellaneous, health and wellness, activities, supportive services, finances, and then staff. But this was basically the area that had the most improvement disclosed. So I wanted to give a high level over that. It's not good, right? We're not delusional, we're very well aware. We had dug into the survey. It's done every 2 years. The last one was done in 2021. And then obviously we just completed this one for 2023. We are meeting with the team this week, and we are basically going to dissect every comment, every data point, and really drill into how we can do better. There's really nothing around that, right? We have to be transparent, we have to be open-minded, and we have to own it, and we have to do better. So that's really the conversation that I'm having with the team. Ricky will be back this week. Food and beverage was a big area that was significantly highlighted, as well as environmental and plant operations. Those were basically the two major areas that we immediately would obviously start doing some action planning on. So as time goes on, I'm going to be working with the board so we can really get to the bottom of some of the others. There was lots of commentary about communication. Obviously transportation went in the wrong direction, so looking into some of that. So I want it to be very clear that we hear you and that we will be acting on this survey. And with that, there will be implementations and policies put in place in order to streamline operations so your needs are met. So we will communicate as we get to that point, but I think that's most certainly the first place to start is exactly where your feedback lies. And so we will be, again, working with the board and the team and communicating kind of various aspects as we move into submitting our action plan for that feedback. So I really just wanted to share that high level with you today. A lot of my team, Ginger was out, Dawn was out, Ricky's still trying to get back from Italy, so we have not had an opportunity to all sit down and go page by page. As I mentioned, it's 89 pages to really delve into the what and the why behind some of that. So again, more to come on that, but I just wanted to be very transparent. So at that point, I'll take any questions or comments. Ms. Batty.
Good morning. I'm 90 years old, stage 4 ovarian cancer, terminal. I came here with only 6 months to live, and it's been 9 years. I really appreciate all that Regency Oaks has done, and I speak well of it to just about everybody I see. I'm having trouble with this channel. I called Spectrum. They said, are you getting this, the identification? I said, yes. Then he said, well, your importer is a person responsible for what goes on that screen, not us. So as far as you're concerned, nothing has happened to your account on this end.
So we discussed that this morning, Miss Maddie, and one of the gentlemen are coming to your home
All right,
to see how they
he came
can
this
help.
morning.
Okay,
All right, he came this morning. He can't fix it. I
okay,
says, well, I want it known. I'm not the only one. There
sure,
are other people that don't get it either.
sure.
And we would appreciate anything you could do to
Okay.
bring it back.
I will circle back with Darwin and follow up with him on that.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Can't hear you.
We had trouble with the TV many times. And then they came again and again. And so they said the wires here are old. So they drew a new wire from our thing out to the box in the hallway. And since that, it's been working well. So I don't know if that's the truth or not, but they did. I saw them do it.
Well, thank you for that. There's a lot that goes into that complex situation, and I wouldn't say it's the old wiring, but there are some updates that we'll be doing. Sure.
I want to give a little background before I start my question. Basically, my background is science. Okay, I taught science. I wrote a lot of science textbooks. I read a lot of science, and I try and direct things to my knowledge of science.
Sure.
I was watching a show on TV the other day about New York City going solar. Okay, the tops of their apartment buildings, and not just New York City. This is Manhattan. They're putting in solar. And my basic question, which I'll come to later, is have you thought about going solar? Now, I live on the 5th floor, and when I look across the street at the health center, it's as big as a football field, the roof, okay? That could hold a lot of solar. The question I'm going to ask later on is, have you looked into doing something with this? Not only would you be getting solar for Regency Oaks, but also you will be insulating that roof from the heat, and it would cut down on the amount of energy use that you needed to cool that building in the summertime.
So you're not the first resident that's asked about solar. We actually have someone in the room that's very passionate about that topic. I personally have requested and discussed it with ownership. It has been something that they were not looking to do right now, but that doesn't mean that they wouldn't do it in the future. So we can most certainly revisit the topic. I know that we have one particular resident that's reached out to ownership directly, and that is decisions that are way beyond myself. But we can
Yes,
most
I
certainly revisit.
understand that, but it doesn't cost anything to look into it, to
Absolutely.
get someone to give you an estimate on what you would say. I don't know what the electricity bill is here,
Sure.
but I'm sure it's huge. And I'm not even thinking about savings to Regency Oaks administration, but I'm talking about saving to us.
So it's my understanding it has been looked into. I could not speak to how far in depth, but we can most certainly revisit.
Well, wouldn't it be nice to set up a committee among the administration here to start looking into it, to ask questions, to
If
find
you'd like,
out?
absolutely. Yeah, please meet with your board and we can most certainly start that process if that's something you'd like. As of now, the answer has been no, not yet. But like I said, we can most certainly look into it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
My question is about the survey. I know we had 75% people fill out the survey. And I know that those national survey people like to do a lot of backdoor work. And I'm wondering if there's any percentage that they're aware of who fills out the survey. People that are happy or people that are unhappy. I'm sure they have a percentage of knowledge of who does that. And that might be interesting to know for us if we can get an answer from them, because we can see where it would make a difference.
So yes, I would say, again, I'm not an expert in that, but there is a known fact that people that are more disgruntled or tend to be more vocal. So that can most certainly play a role in it, which was why we tried so hard to get optimal participation. That way, the positive would some way correlate with the less than pleased.
Thank you.
Next question. Hey, Roger.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Sometimes curiosity drives my energy, so that noise was so unusual from the construction work next door that I finally went over there last week. And it was very interesting for me because it brought back memories that type of work that they're doing was the first job I had when I came home from service. But it's a lot different naturally. And it involves, you don't realize this, but when you're on the frontage road or Highway 19, you think that's kind of like the level area for the whole area, but it's not. If you go down to the east side of that apartment complex, you look up and you don't even see the top of the roads. It really drops off. Well, the original wall they had on the eastern boundary of their property, I guess didn't work. It was a concrete block type wall. So now they're putting in humongous steel pieces. They're about an inch thick, and they're at least maybe 18, 24 inches wide, and very, very tall. They got to be probably 40 feet tall. And they're not using a hammer approach to pound those items into the ground. It appears as though they're using vibration, and that's what's making the noise. I thought at first we could hear a pounding noise, but it's a steady, irritating type noise. And it's the decibels are such that if you stand on the east side of our campus, you think, well, maybe it's coming from the pine trees, or the other side of the pine trees, because the noise bounces off the pine trees, and it bounces around, so it fools you. I finally went over there and observed them and talked to a couple of the men over there, and they anticipate that as of last week, they'd probably be doing that kind of work for another couple of weeks. But it's absolutely necessary because the slope on the eastern side of their property is down, and then beyond that, it's all swampy. You don't notice it from the street or from outside, but it's all just low, swampy area. They gotta prop up their property from sliding down. So it's retained? Yes, it's a retained type, wall, but it's made with heavy steel.
Sure. Well, thank you for that. That's good information. It's good to know. Manage your expectations. We have 4 weeks. Yes, ma'am. Next question.
I just want to finish up or tag on to what Andy was saying. I know that when people were taking the survey, a lot of them said, are we supposed to be responding to what we have right now or what we've had for the last year or two? And I think it was difficult. A lot of the questions were answered based on the frustrations we've had in the past, not necessarily where we are at this immediate moment?
Sure, and that was something we were trying to discern. It wasn't really easily done. So what we are doing about that is typically we would do a survey every 2 years, but we are going to do a pulse survey next year. So we will have a follow-up survey to this one so we can really compare. But I'm a very big advocate of still, looking at the information and taking it seriously and problem solving and strategizing regardless. Absolutely. Sure. Well, we can modify it in a 2024 survey and knock that one out of the park. That's the goal. Any other? Oh, Hudson. Oh, yes, sir. Hi.
Your turn.
My turn. The food and the service last
It's not on.
week.
It's not on. Hold it closer.
The service and the food was outstanding last week, and I would recommend that everybody here today would compliment Ginger on her new jacket.
We do love your new jacket.
You gotta cut the
Thank
string
you.
on
Make
it.
sure
Oh,
to
thank
those
you.
those. Pretty funny. Next question or comment?
My question, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
My question is about the pool.
Closer.
My question is about the pool.
Okay.
I understand it's closed now, but there'll be a lot of people ready for Aquafit on Friday. Will it be open when our leader returns?
So I do not know the answer to that. I just saw the gentleman in there cleaning it, but Ginger, do you have feedback on that?
I don't right now, but I'll find out for you.
Yeah, that's news to me. Normally Darwin lets me know, so must have been something unexpected. I'm not sure, but we'll get an answer for you.
Hello?
Yes, you're on.
I'm curious, when do you anticipate the arrival of the handicap ramp for the stage, please?
Let me follow up on that. It's been a little bit since we've discussed that, and I do not recall. So I will get you an answer on that. I believe we actually have it on site. I just don't know where it is, so I'll have to follow up with Darwin.
Thank you.
Last call for questions. Any additional questions?
Nope. All right, well, y'all have a beautiful, chilly Tuesday. Stay warm out there. Thank you. We appreciate it.